Hello everyone, it's FallenDice and welcome to another episode of Minecraft Adventures with FallenDice. And as you see here, we have completely depleted all four of our quarries down here. So I figured while I'm hanging around, let's continue on. And no, this episode is not about quarries. I'm just kind of showing you that right now we're going through with the basic clearing and then soon we'll start pumping resources back up into our processing plant. No, today's episode is going to be about rubber. And I did finish my second medium voltage solar array, but it took enormous amounts of rubber. And I still need to make 6 more of those to be able to make one high voltage solar array. And if I want to make more than those, I mean, I'm going to need a ton of rubber. So I've been kind of manually doing this process, but that doesn't fit in with what is Buildcraft and Industrialcraft, which is all about automation. So today, we're going to set up a rubber tree farm. So I've got some ideas on what I want to do. First off, though, we're going to go and we're going to take a look at our timing circuit because I don't plan on doing this with any kind of you know block sensor, bud switch, any of that kind of stuff like that. This is just going to be set on timing because it's going to be running passively over and over, even if all the trees haven't been harvested. I'm not worried about that. So I'm going to go and show you a cool timer I found on YouTube, and I'll link you the link to the actual video and the person who had posted it. I'm not sure if it's his invention or not, but that's where I got it from, so that's where we'll link to. And then we'll head into creative, and we'll kind of go through how I would like to construct this tree farm. And then after all that's taken care of, then we'll come back over here, clear some more jungle, and install it around in this area so that while we're waiting on these quarries, we can continue to harvest the rubber. And I plan on making this completely fully automated to the point where it's automatically going to harvest the trees, send them to the extractors, turn them into rubber, and then route the rubber straight to the chest that I want it at. One other thing too, I'll show you over here. If you look at the mini map, you can kind of see where I am, and which is a perfect spot for these two quarries. And I think that over there, those ones will be the same. I don't, however, know on the backside how if it's going to be too far away for this to work with some of the bugs going. So I'm going to continue working with quarries until it just doesn't work anymore. Because I don't know how far away that is, and I don't know how much I'm going to do, but from the looks of it, by the time I'm done, I'm going to have 128 by 128 4 of those giant holes down here, which is kind of crazy. But we'll see what we can do. And again, I'm just getting resources. Once I can't do anything here anymore, or I run out of fuel, which is the main reason I'm sticking around here, is because this is where all my fuel is. Once I run low on fuel, or I can't do this anymore, then we'll see about maybe pumping the fuel elsewhere and getting closer to my regular bases. But for now, let's head over and let's take I'm going to show you the timer we're going to use, and then we'll go ahead and get started on getting this tree farm going. All right. So it looks like we're going to be doing a 17 by 17 farm, and purpose for that is water. So we'll start off by filling this edge with water. Come over here, do the same thing, except for I kind of got behind this time. There you go. And that's our reason. So after that, we'll start our reservoir down the middle. And this is going to be an interesting one, because the farm design we're using here, and my initial discovery of this is from the BurpCraft server and Acatera. And he did one of these in his thing. And I hate these flat worlds. Alright, so here is going to be the footprint of our farm. And we'll take like I haven't decided what block I want to use yet, because everything over there's been stone brick lately. But for now, this will be running around here. Alright, so here's the basic what I'm planning on doing with the walls. I want to keep a walking area around the outside. And this may change a little bit as I figure out exactly how the fillers fit in with our um, markers and stuff. But before we do that, we'll do a quick overview of how the filler works. First off, the filler has to have a marked off grid. Unlike the quarry in somewhere, if you just drop it, it automatically will place a, I don't know what the automatic for a quarry is, but for the filler, you have to preset a size for it. So we'll just throw up a couple here. And you can do just one level, or if you throw in another one up here, you can, you know, put in a 3D version of it. But we'll start off with, for now, just this. Now when you attach the filler here, you get the nice little, I like to call it hazard tape, caution tape, however. But it's not ready to do anything quite yet. You first have to tell it what to do. And that is with either bricks or glass. Keep those up there. Now if you take the glass and fill up all the spaces, it becomes clear. Now what that means is, I might as well just only do it here because it's only one layer high. Alright, so we got these blocks in here. Now as soon as I take and hook a an engine up, I need my wrench. Alright, hook up an engine, throw in some fuel, and start it up. It will instantly start taking out the blocks. And the cool thing about this is, unlike the quarry, it doesn't destroy the blocks, it just removes them. So you can actually go in there afterwards and pick them up. Once everything in here is done, it goes to red here. It was green while I was doing that, and that's because it's now saying that the job is finished. So, now the next thing that it can do, get rid of all the glass. Now we can go to a fill. So we have here a fill, which this is going to do everything inside this area will be filled with whatever you happen to place down here in the fill-in resources. Now if you take it just the outsides and leave the middle, you're going to get walls. So it's actually going to build a cube and hollow it in the middle. Supposedly you should be able to do, yep, there we go. Now we got stairs. You can make it up at an angle, and I'm trying to think of what other possibility. I thought there was something else too, but I'll have to look into it. But those are some of the things you can do with the filler. So if we basically go through now, we'll do this over here, and we'll throw in dirt. As soon as we do that, it now starts to place dirt in this entire area, including the area where our caution tape is. Now, another cool part about this is, if we were to stick another one up here, give it some power too, and then we'll go in here, and then just like the other one, we're going to go ahead and tell it we want it to fill, but instead, let's see, we'll go ahead and throw in, where's our jungle trees? And that is the reason why we're here, is because, of course, jungle tree saplings. Alrighty, put those in here. Oops, actually I have to do something else first. We need to, and I already ran out of dirt, so let's see. I'll give it some dirt so it can continue its mission. And I need dirt. Put our last marker here. Connect them, and we'll place our filler again. Oops. Put in our bricks. And yes, you do need to have bricks here. Not sure why, but that's just the way that the mod was made. So now, as you can see, it's now going to plant our jungle saplings on every available space in here. Now, it's going to run out here shortly, and then it'll stop. But if you look over here, it's going to stay green because it has not completed its job. Now, however, if I were to go through, let's stick in a couple more stacks of these. If it does complete its job, it's going to go red like it did before on the clearing one, and like it has right now, if you could see it on the dirt one. And the problem with that is once that happens, you are no longer, it won't do it again. By do it again, what I mean is it won't start replanting everything if you were to take something away. Because if you look right now, did I catch it in time? I did not. Okay. Let me get rid of a few of these. Because I want to show this in action. This will reset it. But as you can see right now, whoa, dang it. So much for that. Alright, let's get rid of more of these. Alright. We'll reset it one more time. And as you can see now, as I break them, it keeps replanting them. And it would actually keep up until it gets to the point of either running out of the material it needs or completing its job. But there is a workaround to this. And luckily I was able to have Acatera give me a secret today. And it's that there's another cool thing about gates. And I think it has to be the Tarkic. So let's go ahead and grab just a regular Tarkic and over here we have something called a loop. And you can use anything you want to induce the loop. So, let's see, we're still on green, so what I need to do is, well, how's my engine? It's not going to work for a little bit. Throw some more fuel in there so it's ready for me to go. Okay, so now when I add in some more rubber trees, and then we go ahead and turn it on, it will finish planting like before. And actually, let me fill in those couple holes because that would actually prevent it from completing its mission if it didn't have the ability to place in all the spots. Okay, so now you can see it's red because it's completed its job. Every available space to fill has been filled. However, as I break these, it's going to continue to plant them. And that is what the loop does. So that is how we're going to be able to continue to go back and forth. Now, we'll head down here. Let's go ahead and pull you out. Turn you off. The next key is, or I shouldn't say the key. So what the design is we want to, let's go ahead and actually, let's grab, and again, I am going to come up with something else. I don't want to use the same thing that I've been using for everything. Off strike. Alright, so let me raise this up one level and I will be right back. Alright, so now we're back. And again, like I was saying, or started to say, this is how we're going to harvest everything. So we're going to have it set up to start it off by placing our grid inside here. And let's see, that's our dirt one. Okay. I didn't want to do that. There we go. No, there we go. Alrighty. So our first filler will go right here. Let's see. In my regular world, I'm going to probably wait to do the walls until I'm all the way complete, just because it makes it easier. Oh, I lost my water source. Hold on. Just because it annoys me. Okay. So this one here is going to be a fill of dirt. Alright, so when this gets power, it's going to plant a row of dirt, which will basically give us a floor. And the floor is where we'll be able to plant our our trees. So then we'll come over here, make a little bit bigger here. And now we need to get our landmarks back and something to build with. Alright, let's see. This needs to go on the next level. Alrighty. Come back here, grab our filler. And there we go. So now this is going to place our saplings on the dirt blocks, which are going to be placed by this one. And then after that, we're going to do one more. And he's going to be starting at the same level as our dirt blocks. Let's get back here. There we go. Only he's going to go up a little bit higher. So let's see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's high enough. Sapling 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It should be okay. If we can always go one higher. That way we can make sure we harvest all of our saplings. I'll look into it before I build it on my actual on the server. I'll make sure what the height for the trees are, because I think maybe it can actually grow up to 6 logs high, which means after that case I'd want to probably make it go up a little bit higher. But anyway, so this is going to be where our filler to clear goes. Alrighty, and I probably, just for routing power, yeah, I think I did this backwards. I probably should have did. Yep. All right, let me fix this real fast. This should be the sapling and dirt should be both on this layer, and over there should be the clearing one. So that's, yeah, let me do that real fast. Hold on. All right, so I've got it swapped here, and the reason why is these groups are going to be powered in the first stage, so it's going to plant everything, allow it to grow. And then at the next stage, this one will get powered, those will be unpowered, and then it's going to clear everything. It's all going to drop into the water, get harvested, and then it'll keep continuing back and forth. Now, I'm thinking I may change my mind on the walls for this. Alright, so we got our 2 wide wall in, and reason for that is just to keep the leaves from growing too far outside of the building, just because I don't like how that looks. I'll probably use glass and some other stuff for it, but anyway, so here we are. So now we have this set up here. So the next thing is going to be to run power to both of these. Alright, so we're ready to test the theory behind everything here. So as you look over here, both of these, or all these, have our gates on there to put them in a loop mode, so they should continue to work even afterwards. And then if we go over here, the bottom one here, fill order with all dirt. And we got a fill order with rubber saplings. And then over here, we have our clear. Alright, so since there's nothing in there to clear right now, we'll go ahead and turn on the fill. And we'll watch as soon as the dirt's placed, it's also placed in our saplings. So this will go through here and it will basically fill up the entire room. Alright, so we're starting to get towards the end here. You can see as it's going, it's already started to grow a few of the trees. And I can already see from here that there are definitely some room for some leaves to grow above. Also, I'm going to show here, right now it's showing that it's green, that there's work to do. It'll get to the end and that's going to go red. But because it's in the loop, if I kill any of these, it's still going to replant them. Alright, so now everything's planted. We will simulate that that is switched, and we now go to our clear mode. Clear mode will initially take out the dirt. And in addition to the dirt, all of our unused saplings will also fall, and they are going to be collected below. We have a obsidian pipe. And I am going to lose some items here because the fact that being that we're in creative and I can only go 3 blocks down, I couldn't place this where it could catch everything. But that's okay. We're just kind of showing the concept right now, not actually going for the most efficient. But you can see as it goes through and chops everything down, they fall through. Next, it'll start going through and we'll start cutting down the trees. And the cool part about the filler is as it cuts leaves down, the leaves can actually become saplings. And so we'll actually get more saplings to continue running this just from the harvesting. So you're not actually losing saplings by doing this. So we'll let this thing run a little bit more and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so here we go. Everything has been cleared. So now we'll once again simulate that this has been turned off and over here has been turned on. We've had ample time for the engine to cool, and as you can see, it's already starting to plant. So this now will work. The next things that we would have to do here would be to route our drops. So instead of having to just come into a chest here, use diamond pipes. So what we'd end up doing is sending the dirt back to the bottom and the saplings back to this top one here. And then our the logs and any of the sticky resin that we would get from in here, we could route straight over to our processing plant, which will be next door, and have it pumped straight into an extractor where it can start actually making rubber. And then anything else we get, like apples and things like that, we can just kind of store somewhere. But now to control it. I thought about how to do this, and you can do it manually, and you could try doing it with the bud switch, but as you can see, every tree isn't going to grow, because that's impossible. They can't all grow. Well, they might be able to grow next to each other, but that would be kind of silly to wait for it, because pretty much I think just in the time it took to plant, we got like 5 or 6 trees. So my plan is to just go with a 5-minute timer. And the simplest 5-minute timer to make is just the simple old dispenser. So I'm going to show you here how we're planning on doing this, and let me get the blocks here set up. Alright, so here's what I plan on using for my timer. And I got this from an Even Steven 1 on YouTube. And again, I don't know if it was his creation, but that's the video I got it from, so that's who I will link to. So basically we have in here a dispenser with as many items I really want to put in here. I could put in just a couple for now, but it doesn't matter. But each time it's going to take 5 minutes, because 5 minutes is how long it takes for something to despawn. So you can see over here we've got a pressure plate and a redstone torch. Right now the redstone torch is on and it's powering a line. As soon as I hit the button, the item drops onto the pressure plate and our switch will now be turned off for 5 minutes. The block up here is to make sure that the item drops down, it doesn't go out to the side. No matter how many times we hit this, it's going to drop down there. That's just one of the cool things about Minecraft. Now, how does this help us here? We have 2 inputs. So we can basically control our 2 engines with redstone, but we want only one out at a time. So that's where we will now switch over to a T flip-flop. T flip-flops are great for something like this. And actually, sorry, I'm too close. Stick that in there for now. You need to go up to here. There we go. And we'll do the same thing again. And this is just a real simple, compact T flip-flop, which is why I like to use this one. Alright, put you up there. Little redstone there. Drop a torch down there. And now we have our output. So now we're going to get an on and an off for this. And from here, and again, still we only have one output, but now the cool part. Here's an inverted. Sorry, let me make this that. And an uninverted. So you're going to one engine, you are going to the second engine. So now, one output, two different states, but the best part is, we hit our button here. Now we have powered over here, unpowered over there. In 5 minutes, when this thing despawns, nothing happens. Because I forgot one last thing. I need to have the output routed back over here to this. There we go. So now we have this one's powered here, this one's not powered. And because there's an item on here and this is turned off, we are not powering our dispenser. As soon as I pick up the item, it turns itself back on. Now we're powered over here, not powered over there. So basically every 5 minutes it's going to switch back and forth. So for 5 minutes we'll have the clearer on, for 5 minutes we'll have the filler on. 5 minutes is also not long enough for an engine to overheat, which comes in quite handy for this. So I don't have to worry about routing water or anything like that. This will actually only be on long enough to basically get to green, and then it'll switch to the next mode. I probably will put a gate on here as a failsafe anyway. No, because I need the redstone coming in here. Nope, that's fine. We'll just make sure this is far enough away that if it were to ever overheat, that it's not going to affect our tree farm here. But this right here, this is our tree farm now. Now we just have to place this somewhere underneath the timer and everything, routing it over to here, which we'll probably have somewhere underneath as well, just to keep it, or maybe we'll extend the building out a little bit and have these in a separate room in the back. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, so let's head back to BurpCraft and let's go ahead and start putting this into our world there. Alright, so we're ready to get started over here, and I've cleared out another area here in my ever-expanding temporary forward base. So, yeah, here we are. We got the 17 by 17 grid going. 8 blocks on each side, so the water stops there. I already put in the channel. All of our drops are going to be moving over here, heading straight into the processing plant. I can probably just get rid of these now. This was to represent the inside track, and then the 2 outside ones are where we're going to be placing all of our blocks. And I am going to go with a 2 wide wall, again just to try and lessen the amount of trees sticking out over the edge, which I'm not a big fan of. The next thing now is the walls, and I just didn't want to make another stone brick thing, so I decided to use oak. And I only had so much, so I figured I had this entire area planted with trees, oaks and rubber, and I was just cutting them down, getting the saplings, replanting. So I got lots of oak now, lots of rubber wood, but the key thing is 4 stacks of saplings, which is what I really needed. So now I'm set up to go for this. So we're going to make the wall out of oak wood planks and glass similar to the design over there. So I'm not going to actually do this part on camera. I'm just kind of showing this is where we are now. This is the area we're putting it in. So I'm going to go ahead and start setting this up, and I will be back in a sec. Alright, and here's our enclosure now. Jungle cats everywhere. I doubt this will be a door. It's just for now, just so I can get in and do work. I do have a door, it'll probably be over here, maybe. I don't know. Maybe we'll keep it here. Doesn't matter. But anyway, so yes, so we've got our enclosure now. And I think it's 8 high. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 high. So we'll see if it's tall enough. If not, it is what it is. But it it currently matches the height of all the other buildings here, so I like that. So anyway, so our next thing to do, we need to go ahead and start setting up our fillers. And actually, I think I need to make a couple more fillers anyway. So let me go make some fillers, and then we'll start placing things and see how we want to, where we want to place them, and how we want to run our mechanical parts to this. So I will be right back. Alright, so I'm getting ready to start placing fillers. And since we're doing a too thick wall here, I figured it'd be kind of cool to try and hide everything inside the walls. So, let's see, actually, I need to place it here. Figure out which sides we want to have. I think this is going to be, it's closest to there too. So yeah, this will be our dirt and our saplings. So we'll do this first. Oh, crap. Alrighty. Come in and drop our filler. Oh, actually, would help to light these up first. There we go. Cool. Alright. Dirt is ready. And then one up higher, we will place our saplings. I need to get some dirt. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. And I actually meant wood. Alright, so place one there. One there. And then one over here. And then we can place our second. Get closer. Come on. Gotta be able to touch it. There we go. Now we can place our second one. And I'm probably just going to have to just jump up on this one. Or actually, I can do this first. Come to the corner. Okay, there we go. Dirt level, sapling level. Now we just need to place our final one, which will be our clearer. And then once we have these done, then it's a matter of starting to route all of our piping and power, because that's going to be, to me, that's going to be the part that's going to be the most important, because from the outside, I don't want to see it. I want it to be completely invisible. Alright, so our first one goes there. I'll put one over here. Let's see, one more over here. And then we got to go all the way up to the ceiling. And luckily I brought ladders for that. Get out of here. There we go. Are we not able to put ladders on leaves? No, we're not. Okay. Well, in that case, tower it is. And I just got done watching a video showing that in the new snapshot for the upcoming 1.4 update, they've fixed the problem with pillaring down and having yourself get stuck on phantom blocks, which is awesome. I'm so excited about that. Alrighty, so now we click it again. There we go. The entire inside of here is ready to get cleared. Place our filler. There we go. Alright, fillers are all placed. I'm going to go pick up all my markers, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so we're getting some work done underneath now. So where we have our two sections of fillers. I've cleared out the underneath area so I can send up all the different pipes to them. Here's where our collection area is going to be, and we'll work on that in a little bit. And then I've now dug a tunnel all the way over here to our refinery, so we can basically have fuel pumped over to our engines to keep them running. So now I need to go get some pipes, and we'll start figure out how we're going to route everything, because we need to be able to, especially on the ones two up here, we have to run power and item pipes to each one of these. So let me go do that, grab the pipes real fast, and I will be right back. Alright, so we're getting somewhere on our piping here. So all of our fuel's coming this way, ending up into here, so they should be filling up now. Yep, good to go, good to go. I've widened this area out here. This is where we're going to put our timing circuit and our T flip-flop. So one of the outputs will come straight to this engine here and turn it on. And it goes straight up the side and fills up or powers both of these. In addition, I've got two different piping going up. I put in a iron. I'll head up there. I put in an iron up here, so that way I could using the wrench, make it so that the items only went up, and that went up into there, and that allowed me to do this with a lot less space. I didn't have to go through this window so it would be seen. So this will mostly be covered up from the inside here. So those are our two sets of items coming in from down below. And then over here, power went straight up to the bottom, item over to there, so most of this will be concealed. This is where we're going to route the power over here to our second engine. Once I get the redstone underneath, I'll put this block back so that the items can once again flow. So, let's do that first. We'll set up our timer here and get that working, and then after that we just got to get our diamond pipe and some other stuff, and we can do our sorting, and then we should be able to start this up, and yeah, cool. Alright, timing is now in place. So basically here was that little timer we made before with the loop feeding back in to keep resetting it every 5 minutes. Here's our T flip-flop here. The output signal comes over to here. One of the signals is inverted, the other one is not. So if I go over here and pick up this dirt block, now you see this one is now powered. Now it's not powered. There we are. So right now this timing circuit, which is a nice 5-minute timing circuit, will alternate between turning this engine on and turning that engine on. So planting and harvesting are now set up, other than I still haven't filled the actual fillers yet. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to set up our harvester. Actually, before we go on to there, I had to make one other change. So coming from our pipe that's coming out of our quarry, which is where we're going to be sending our rubber tree logs and our sticky resin, we needed to be able to route it over here to the extractor. So I routed the power for the that MFE over there up and around so I could tap off here, because I couldn't touch this one here. This red one was our empty one for all the items that didn't have a name. So like, if we hit a abandoned mine shaft or something. So now the yellow one is now our rubber, wood, and sticky resin. So if either of those come through here, it'll send it over to there. And then the black going down is going to be our rubber, wood, and our sticky resin. So that will route them to where we need them to be. And later on, if I end up getting an excess of, say, saplings out of this, I can always adjust it by bringing over here and changing this to take saplings as well. And then over there on the actual rubber tree farm, we can put some kind of something on there, I think, that'll send a signal, so at some point, if we fill up our chest, maybe it'll start routing them elsewhere. I'll have to look into that. I think that's a possibility, but anyway, now we'll head back over and start working on the piping down here. Alright, so now we have our collection area here. Once it hits that, let's get underneath and show you. Everything comes this way, and I'm no longer sending anything that way because I remembered there's no reason for anything to go into the clear pipe because all it does is destroy. So the items come through here, and they hit this diamond pipe. Now directly above it, above here, you can see that the low one is on the right, so that's the red side here. And that's where we're going to plant our dirt. And then above that, we will plant our saplings. And then everything else coming off the yellow is going to be our resin and our rubber wood. So we are pretty much almost good to go. Now I just got to go up, add in my bricks, fill up the items, and we can go ahead and test this. Alright, so everything is going really well. As you can see, we're actually in the harvest mode right now. So it's going through and everything's getting dropped. I've actually increased the number of saplings I have. Right now I've got over a stack, and I had barely just enough to plant the initial time. So each time it goes through, we are getting a lot of saplings, which is good. And then, of course, I had to add a few more overclockers to keep up. So there's now 6 overclockers in this, and it just feeds them out like in a ridiculous way. I'm almost out of the sticky. That's it. Okay, so I've pretty much about finally caught up, so I might take a couple overclockers out just to let it maintain from now on. But this is how much rubber I have now. It's ridiculous. So, yeah, this tree farm is beyond efficient. And I know I've watched some Tekkit things and what they can do on there, but I almost have to think that this is probably almost maybe even more efficient than their versions and the way their systems works. Don't know. I have to, be on a server where I could actually run both of them to test it, but this is really, really well. This thing is working awesome. So, once again, thank you to Acatera. He's one that designed the initial one of these. His was a lot bigger though. His was probably a 64 by 64. And I don't know how, if he had the automatic timing or anything set up, or if it was just flipping switches while they grow or something. I didn't get a chance to actually see it, but I kind of, I got to hear him describe it, and then he went over a couple things for me in Skype that I was having troubles with. But yeah, I love this design. So anyway, that is going to complete our episode for today. One project, but it was a good project, and it was an important project. So I think on our next episode, I may start looking at some of the new toys, some of the other industrial craft things that aren't processing involved, like the armor and some of that kind of stuff. So it should be kind of fun. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.